7-0 Utah State. Number 26 is City Timavena. And there is his identical twin brother, Suli Timavena. And their dad, who is a legend as a rugby player in Fiji. He was pictured there with him, and they went to junior college together. At one point, they were going to go to San Jose State. Then it looked like they were going to go to Washington State. And unfortunately for them, they ended up having to split up to land at both New Mexico and Utah State. Two really good football players and a very close family. They have immediate family and extended family here watching this football game in Albuquerque. Tyrone Evans, or Owens, I should say, with the carry there. There's Suli, again, one of the leading tacklers in college football this year. And his brother, City, dealt with a hamstring injury earlier this year, and he's really come on the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, also came in late, to camp. But these two guys are tackling machines, very physical, can run sideline to sideline. Great linebackers.
2nd down and 7. Owens. And he spins ahead to midfield. That'll set up a 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. New Mexico last year led the nation in rushing. This year, they come in at 235 yards on the ground, 22nd in the nation. But they're just 105th in scoring, 22 points a game. It's one thing to run between the 30s, but if you can't punch it in the end zone with regularity, it's going to be hard to win football games, and that's one of the reasons New Mexico finds itself at 3-5. They will get a 1st down here.
It's the Chestnut.
It's Daryl Chestnut.
Since Bob Davie has been here, you've seen not outside the top 10, except for this season. It just shows you the kind of troubles they've had with their offensive line, the injuries they've sustained. You think about what they've had. Reese White, tight end, the cruiser, which is a valuable position for them. They're still trying to fill that void. Blocking tight end.
They got a young guy in '88, a true freshman, Marcus Williams, who's from the neighborhood. He's from Rio Rancho. He's not all that big, 6'3", about 200 pounds. They think he's going to be a good one at tight end. He's playing quite a bit today. Got a man open downfield, and it's complete. It is Q Drennan, who ran a little corner route, and another 1st down for New Mexico.
I'll tell you what, this is a tough throw into the wind, across the field, far hash bench route. And you see the wind holding it up, but Drennan open, had created enough space. That's a good ball, a good throw by Lamar Jordan, who's had success at times throwing the ball.
8th catch of the year for Drennan. New Mexico sent 3 receivers in a bunch formation just inside the numbers on the near side. But they go McCorley, and McCorley has a gain of 6 or 7.
That was quads. You had a trio outside. You had a tight end lined up on the same side, so they outflanked them to the right side of the field and then gave it to the bruiser.
Baron Gaikowski made the tackle. Good to see Baron back out there.
Sticking his nose right in there too, Drew.
Second quarter, a little more than 3 minutes in, 7-0 Utah State. And again, it's McCorley, and he cuts it back, and he stays on his feet to the 11-yard line. 1st down, Lobos.
Great vision, great cut by McCorley, and they're running this trio set here. They're trying to get Utah State to show them something defensively. I'm sure they've got 2 plays off of that look, maybe a bubble screen out to the receivers.
Here's the other thing, said you got to like. The strength of the Lobos is the depth of their running backs. Use them, and that's what they're doing.
Absolutely, they're leaning on those guys, and you've got 3-on-3 with players on different levels here.
They'll go McCorley again. He steps through an arm tackle, and they say the ball came out late, and they're going to mark him down. Or no, are they? No, they're going to say it's Utah State football. Justice Tae comes up with it.
Wow.
What is going through the mind right now of Bob Davie? That's 3 fumbles after 7 turnovers last week.
Rolling on the field is a fumble with a recovery by the defense, and he was down by rule after he recovered the ball.
That's
first
out.
down, Utah State.
That's definitely out.
But security, you're stopped. Cover it up. Don't scramble for extra yards.
Well, it's the old line you're familiar with. You fight for yards, not inches. And in that case, I mean, he's basically done. And Bob Davie lobbying that his back was stopped. He's going to lose that argument. Miscues will keep coaches up late at night. They'll put a lot of losses on your resume. You just cannot turn the football over. That's 10 turnovers. I can't even believe I'm saying it. 10 turnovers in the last basically 5 quarters, because the second quarter just started.
2 of those on conversion plays, another on a nice gain, and that one there, you're stopped inside the red zone. You don't have anything. Just take your losses and hang on to the football.
Kendrick Shaver, co-defensive coordinator, has to be pleased with that. And on an outcut, that throw was short of Zach Van Leeuwen. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Jordan Love. And look where the turnovers have come.
That's the has to be the most frustrating. You don't like any turnovers, but when you're
both inside the 10-yard line. Nice job with the ride by Jordan Love, but better defense. Austin Ocasio, we've called his name a couple times, number 6, also involved, 92, Jermaine Conyers. Conyers, a 330-pound junior. 3rd and 9.
Got man-to-man coverage out here. 1, 2, 3, take your pick. Jordan Love has not thrown the ball all too well this afternoon.
New Mexico brings 4, and that is incomplete, trying to get it to Tarver at the 22-yard line. Jalen Burrell with the coverage.
And great coverage it was. As his man on the in route, we're working a short side of the field. He beats him to the spot. It's a really good job of coverage. I'll tell you, this defense deserves better than what their offense has given them. This defense has played lights out. They've done an excellent job.
And to your point, as Ramel Jordan is back around midfield, and he's going to drop to his 45, and he kind of waved his arm, but then fell forward. And they'll give him the 49-yard line. So again, New Mexico's got great field position. Don't go anywhere, though. There's a flag down back at the 2-yard line. To your point about the New Mexico defense, last week you look at the score, they lose 42-3 in Wyoming. And we talked about the turnovers. They actually won the second half. I put that in air quotes, 3-0. The defense against Wyoming gave up just a little over 300 yards. That's a winning performance most days.
Absolutely.
But you lose 42-3.
The kicker, defense number 31, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 4th down.
Bob Davies.
It's Thomas
Vieira. His demeanor is being challenged right now because
it really
he's a even keel guy, and he's been doing this a long, long time. He started his coaching career back in the 70s as a GA at Pitt. But Bob's probably going to tell us later that these 2 weeks he's never seen anything like it.
Yeah, I would agree with him. It's crazy what's going on. As hard as these kids work, as much work as the coaching staff and the players put into it, I mean, simple mistakes are costing.
So we'll do it again. This is a good punt. Jordan now pushed back inside his 30. try to get to the wall. And after all that, he gets it out to about the 47-yard line. So it's a difference of about 2 yards because Jordan had a nice return. Utah State leading 7-0 in Albuquerque.
Fans enjoying themselves here in Albuquerque, 7-0. The score. Well, listen, I want to talk about a cool award, the Burlsworth Trophy. It goes to a former walk-on who's now playing well. You look at across the Mountain West, there's 2 guys in this game. Jake Rothschiller and Braylon Roberts are the 2 players in this game. This award goes to someone who began their career as a walk-on and is now given to the most outstanding football player in America who's showing outstanding performance on the field. So a cool deal. Thinking you may not be a scholarship athlete, but you can accomplish anything. Back to action, guys.
All right, Brad, thanks much. Jordan vacates and has room on the far side. He's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line on that scramble. Dalton Baker ran him out.
That was a shot play. Took too long to come open, and he just escapes out of the other end. That's what he can give you if he makes clean and decisive decisions.
Pick up a 17 for Jordan, who has rushed for more than 2,300 yards in his career. And that'll be a pickup of 4 for Tyrone Owens.
See the tackle up around the top of the shoulder pads and clean tackle.
That's
nothing there.
Ingram, no. It'll be 2nd and 6 for New Mexico. They have fumbled 3 times in the game. Last week it was primarily the interceptions. They threw 5, the most they'd thrown in a game in years. Last time they threw 5 picks in a game was 2001 against Colorado State. Pistol. And a couple of yards to Owens. Getting up last. In the middle, 99. Mohelika Waske from Euless, Texas. He hit him so hard he's losing the Utah State sticker on the side of his helmet.
It's peeling right off. Waske, along with those other big interior D linemen, make it hard for this offense to get going with penetration and holding their ground in the middle.
And they'll go Owens, and he's going to be very close to a first down. Yeah, that's what you face. Air Force, Army playing today. You face Navy, you face New Mexico. 3rd and 6, a rundown.
It absolutely is a rundown. But defensively, you have to stay patient. You can't get out of whack. You've got to know they can do everything. They can run it, throw it. But it absolutely is a rundown for these teams.
And Army, by the way, today, and this is a shocker for me, they shut out Air Force in Colorado Springs 21-0. And Army never put the ball in the air.
That is a shocker when you think of what Air Force went up and did last week at CSU.
Rushed for over 400 yards. The college football in general, I'll just say the Mountain West this year has been tough to figure, which it has. College football's been tough by and large to figure. You'll see a team one week and they look tremendous, and then the next week you say, is that the same football team? So it is 4th down and very short here for New Mexico. Here's something else it said, again, going back to you as a former quarterback. With these spread teams, a lot of them do not have a play under center. So on 4th down and inches, they go out of the gun, and Owens lost the football. And he's recovering it. He loses the opportunity for a first down.
Wow.
I'm just flabbergasted.
Wow.
That is the same as a turnover.
It is a turnover. It is.
They're giving the football to Utah State. He had the first down. When he drops the football in recovering it, he lost a couple of feet.
Trying to bounce, again, trying to bounce play. It's fourth and 6 inches.
Remarkable.
You're trying to bounce on a 4th and 6 inch play. You're trying to bounce outside. The ball gets stripped. It's just making the right play, the smart play. And he can't, Coach Davey can't believe it. And I can't blame him. I can't believe it. And we're watching it.
Love. And it's complete for about 10 yards to the 40-yard line. Making the catch was Aaron Vaughns.
See him getting up there trying to go fast.
Officials timeout to repair the chain equipment.
New Mexico may go in the locker room and just do ball security drills at halftime.
I mean, there's nothing else you could say about it. They know they need to take care of the ball. I mean, I don't know what more you can do.
Arriving a little bit early is Austin Ocasio. Looking around and say, yeah, there's nowhere to hide. I'm 3 yards in the backfield.
But it's just been one thing after another. One thing after another. Hurting yourself. Running into the kicker. Jumping off sides. Ball security. All these little things add
Outside.
up.
Defense, number 6, unabated to the quarterback, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
The one good thing for them is you see Ocasio get a running start, but he's so far gone he can't get back. The center doing a great job of just snapping it, Ficklin. But the one saving grace right now, Drew, is they're down 7-0. And they've played as poorly with execution as you could possibly play.
Ball's on the ground. New Mexico has it. That was just a mesh. Jake Rossschiller comes up with it.
Of course he did.
Jordan Love tried to pull it out late.
And just goes off his own hip as he's pulling it out. It's poor security by the young QB. I'll tell you what, that number 28 for New Mexico just seems to make plays all the time.
Matt Wells, the former quarterback, coaching up his young quarterback. New Mexico's had it for more than 10 minutes, more than Utah State in this game, but they have not scored. And that ball you hope is not caught if you're a New Mexico fan. Patrick Reed, the former quarterback, went to a knee. They'll give him the catch. It's a loss of 3.
We talked about this formation, this trio set outside with the tight end over there. They got soft coverage off of them, so they're going to throw it out for a bubble screen. But being inaccurate is what kills that play. You've got to get the ball out to him in his chest where he can run after the catch.
Jordan escapes up the middle, and he goes to the 35-yard line.
Brought down by number 33.
I know you were worried there watching him carry the football there in traffic.
I really was, and I was worried and wondering why he didn't want to take the shot. He had a deep over route with a post behind it. The safety jumped the over route, so he had a shot at the deep post. Looked mighty tempting to me. However, good yardage, 3rd and manageable now. 3rd and 3 gives yourself a chance to play. I'm never going to argue with that.
Jordan's kept it 8 times. He's got 56 yards on the ground to lead New Mexico. And Owens is short. Right near the line of scrimmage, he's dropped. Now decision for Bob Davey. The field goal would be in the neighborhood of 53 yards. I figure he's going to go for it. Selim Ume came onto the field. Another wide out. 4th down and 3 for the Lobos.
Bringing receivers down into a bunch. They're going to try to flank them out to the edge.
And they'll get the first down. The pitch to Daryl Chestnut. I tell you, it looked like Utah State had that strung out.
And it just didn't. They didn't tack. Right there, down 11, doesn't make a decision. All he had to do is go to the back, or excuse me, it's Gage Ferguson. If he runs to the back, Jordan has to turn up inside, and he's got help coming. But once he freezes for a second, it gives him that opportunity to pitch it, and it's too late.
Utah State has watched New Mexico take the vast majority of their snaps in Aggie territory, yet they have not given up a point yet. And this was stuffed immediately on the give to McQuarley. It's Christopher Unga neighborhood. When you run in the A gap, you're going to run into Unga.
Unga and Big Devin Anderson on the outside, and you're getting plenty. Look at him twist around the edge. Doing a nice job. Unga piling on the inside. They're giving the trio look outside to try to empty the box, try to get an extra blocker, an extra defender out of the box. But Utah State is not buying it. They're throwing 2 guys out there and leaving everybody else still inside.
They'll go McQuarley again. Hard to run against that big front for Utah State. And they're missing their best player up front in Ian Tangiai, who's been out for several weeks.
They've got some guys that have filled in admirably, doing a good job. They've got good linebackers. This is a solid defense. Definitely tough to run on, and those double threes that they present to you at times with the size of those guys down there. Unga, Gasatoto, Schuster.
Third down here. Jordan, pressure coming, spins out of it. And now a late pitch and a minimal gain as Chestnut was gobbled up. And now it'll be 4th down and about 7 to go.
Thought he had a chance to maybe take a shot down the field, especially on 3rd down. Once he broke out, his eyes went down instead of looking down the field at his route, because it was a pass play all the way.
This will be a 42-yard attempt for Jason Sanders from the near hash mark. Eight of 11 this year. And this one is through. So New Mexico gets a 42-yard field goal from Jason Sanders. It is 7-3 Utah State. Let's take a look at the Mountain West standings, brought to you by First Interstate Bank. Boise State unbeaten in conference play, Colorado State 4-1, and Wyoming at 3-1. They're getting together right now in Laramie. Air Force fell to Army today. There's Utah State and New Mexico as you look at the Mountain Division. Fresno State is leading the West at 4-1, though they were defeated last week by UNLV. Tough to figure college football every week. Just noticed that in Iowa City, the Hawkeyes are putting a hurting on the Buckeyes after Ohio State had that emotional come-from-behind win over Penn State. And they're up 45-17 on Ohio State.
If JT Barrett pulls that one out, give him the Heisman Trophy.
Run it over there right now.
But yeah. It's not happening. Those uniforms were pretty sharp, though, that they had on Iowa. Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Didn't even recognize them, but they look sharp, and I'm sure they're going to wear them a few more times if this score holds up.
More importantly, they're playing sharp.
They're playing extremely sharp.
Glove stick route complete, and out to the 36-yard line. Aaron Vaughn's a first down. Second catch for Vaughn's. Vaughn's has a touchdown pass this year.
First down.
One of those guys that they want to get more touches.
Here's Lawan Hunt into the secondary. Sprint toward the end zone. And Hunt is going to win it. No flags. He goes 65 yards. Touchdown, Aggies.
Jalen Burrell was the last player with a chance. And he pulled out, Hunt pulls out his best serpentining act right in your living room. Runs through the tackle by Ocasio, and watch him weave just enough to get Burrell off his track and finish that play.
That is a career-long run for Lawan Hunt. And the extra point is through, 14-3, Utah State. And he now eclipses the 1,500 career yard mark, and 11 other Aggies to produce at least that many. 5'8", 195-pound senior from University High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Again, they're going to run the zone read across. Watch the blocking up front, which allows him to just pick a lane. They pull the left tackle. He comes all the way around and seals Ocasio, and he's off to the races. I mean, that's just great scheme. It's an outside, a little more of an outside zone for him to hit the edge and keep it skinny, and he's gone. That's a pretty good answer in 15 seconds.
Yeah, now with 1:44 left, full complement of timeouts for both schools. New Mexico down by 11. But it's harder when you're primarily a running team to run a quote-unquote 2-minute drill.
Do we see 2 OT though right now?
That
is the question.
The question.
We've seen in years past when Austin Apodaca would come in this situation.
Now coming up on the halftime report brought to you by Ram, we take a first look at New Mexico's upcoming basketball season. We'll get news from around the conference and highlights naturally from the first half as well. And it is Tavaka Tuioti, the redshirt freshman from the West Coast. He's from La Mirada, California. Numbers not spectacular, but he throws a good ball.
He really does.
And in the flat, a pickup of a few yards to Chris Davis.
That play had a good look to it. Q Drennan's got to do a better job staying on his block outside. If you take care of that, you're able to pick up a few more yards and get out of bounds. You see the accuracy as he hits him right on the front shoulder on that bubble route.
Tuioti actually started that game against Wyoming because they intended to throw the football quite a bit. Didn't work out real well. That's a good throw. You see the strength of his arm out to the 40. That's Jake Griffin.
It's a nice little option route. He had a go route outside with a 12-yard out by Griff. Beautiful throw on the outside edge.
Prior to the snap, Utah State called their first timeout of the half. 30 seconds in length.
So it's 14-3. Utah State in front with 1:33 left. New Mexico does have some guys on the outside that can catch the football. We saw Q Drennan with a catch earlier. He's got great wheels. And sometimes you see these schools that run the football 90+% of the time, and they don't have a lot of options on the outside because it's hard to recruit to that spot. Hey, you want to come play wide receiver? We throw it 6 times a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough if you get a Lamar Jordan going in early to the locker room. Brad will probably get on that for us and see what's going on with him. But it is tough to recruit a kid, come here and say, play wide receiver in this offense. You're going to get 2 to 3 attempts a game, maybe.
But you're going to be a great stalk blocker. Utah State pressure coming, and Drennan one-on-one on the outside with Cameron Haney.
Haney did a good job. That could have been offensive pass interference. Drennan gets caught behind him, and Haney does a nice job of looks back for the ball and leans to the sideline. That's perfect coverage.
Short the field on him. Didn't give him room to operate.
Absolutely. And the other thing is here, you got plenty of time. You could run an offense. You don't just need to chuck it up for fade throws.
Owens is the lone back. Pressure on the outside, and it's complete. And to the 47-yard line is Griffin.
Pass complete to Jay Griffin, the 4th.
That's the 3rd catch for Griffin. He had 14 coming in. They'd handed it to him 9 times on the season. He's a guy that they want to get more and more involved because he's a home run hitter, is Jay Griffin.
He's been active.
He's got 23 touches coming in. He's been in the end zone 4 times. That tells you a little bit about him. He's a quick strike guy.
Shook off a tackle there and was able to pick up extra yards. Just short in routes. Let him stay on his feet. Good balance. Takes care of the football.
And he broke the tackle of a guy who doesn't get his tackles broken much, Darren Levitt.
Levitt, very key to this defense. Those guys getting people on the ground. There you see the athleticism and strength of Jay Griffin.
3rd down and a couple. Really close.
Hand off to Tyrone Owens.
Yep, they're just going to move the chains. They give him the 1st down.
1st down, Lobo.
They run a rocket screen. And Jay Griffin again with 8.
There you see
Tons of time, 55 seconds to go.
Delane Hart-Johnson not really ready at the beginning of that play. Did get on his man and block.
And that was skinny post, but Ume, I should say.
Ansel Ume not ready for the ball. You can't be so concerned with a defender that you don't run your route. You've got to still run your route. If you're supposed to take 5 steps and look, take 5 steps and look, no matter if that guy's there or not. You can't be worried about hand fighting with a secondary player.
That was Cameron Haney again with the good coverage. 43 seconds left, 2nd and 3. 1 timeout left for New Mexico. Utah State brings 5. Quick throw, and Griffin couldn't make that catch. As coverage by Jalen Davis was right there, one of the better cornerbacks in college football. He was a midseason first-team All-American. Known as the Little Train.
Talk about his 5. He's got 5 picks on the year, and 3 of those have gone to the house.
He had 2 against BYU. 39 seconds left. The punting unit comes out. Corey Bojorquez. When he punts the football, you pointed this out, it makes a different sound, doesn't it?
It really does. A booming sound. Look at this thing. Gotta find the ball. That when a guy's in a groove, because that ball's got to be down right. That's a great punt. And this kid is in some kind of groove this year.
Now the question is, what does Matt Wells do? 33 seconds left. You have 75 yards in front of you. There's a look at the replay. The ball going in the end zone. He's talking to Dax Raymond, his tight end. You're up by 11, 31 seconds left. You got a young quarterback, but a kid who can throw it a little bit in Jordan Love. You go conservative?
I'm going to see what happens on my first play. I only got one timeout. I'm going to run either a zone read or screen on an early down, maybe a bubble screen. If I get a good chunk here, then I'm going to go.
Love has Lawan Hunt, who just went 65 yards next to him. He gives it to Hunt. He tries to bounce it, and a flag comes in as he gets out to the 31-yard line, a pickup of 6 on a play that took 6 seconds.
Holding. Offense, number 68, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
That was a nice first down gain. I might have got up there and gone for it, but now I'd really like to just get in the locker room.
Yeah, now your
without any trouble.
Your decision has been made for you. A holding penalty on the 330-pound left guard, Moroni Iniguez.
And I also take the zone read off of this. I'm straight handing the ball. It's a give all the way. There should be no tussle for the ball here.
I'm actually surprised they're not just putting a knee down. They don't have to snap it, though, to be honest. And Jordan Love got the directive from Matt Wells. That'll be all for a first half that was as topsy-turvy as you will see. A lot of mistakes, huge. And you put that in capital letters, ball security issues for New Mexico.
Absolutely. Just 2 scores down, 2 possessions. You know what I mean? They can get back in this game easily. They've got to clean some things up and give themselves a chance, because right now they're not doing that.
Yeah, if you're Bob Davie, that's what you got to sell to your team. They made a multitude of mistakes, and yet they're down by just 11. Well, Coach Wells is with our Brad Thompson. Brad?
Coach, got a good lead here at halftime. What did you like about your team in the first half?
I just like all the turnovers on defense. I mean, I think our defense has got put in horrible field position. We didn't have any kind of field position to even say anything about early on. And just turnover after turnover, and then obviously long fields for the offense, but we took care of the ball and flipped it, and then we get a couple scores. And so we got to start the second half off really, really strong, because they get it first.
Offensively, how to get the passing game going?
Well, we just got to, I mean, Jordan's got to relax and play pitch and catch with his wideouts. We've had some guys there. We just got to connect.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Brad, and that was an accurate summation. Obviously, Matt Wells' team took the football away a number of times. They'll enjoy a 14-3 halftime lead. Our Ram halftime report is next.